Women doctors, we hear you. We know your struggles. We know what it's like to be a female doctor in this dominant world. And guess what? Dr. Summer Casmel and myself teamed up together and created Women Dentists Connect. We wanted to create a safe, educational, and inspirational place to come and ask those crazy questions that you don't want to ask. We know that being a female doctor is different than it is for male doctors. You just have different issues, different questions, different concerns. So Dr. Summer Casmel and I are actually hosting a live event in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona on October 11th and 12th. This is for women doctors and their teams. We're talking business. We're talking issues that female doctors face. We're talking team breakouts, how to really rally your team. And we're giving you hundreds of tangibles that you can take home and implement Monday morning. We're also having an amazing lineup of speakers where you'll actually get CE for attending. So come on in. We can't wait to see you. We only have a handful of people that we're allowing in. So run on over to womendentistsconnect.com. Use the coupon code podcast to get the Dental 18 family coupon. Guys, I cannot wait. I would love to see you there. I'd love to connect with you, learn from you, and share. So hop on over Women Dentists Connect. I can't wait to see you in October. Hey everyone, welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. We're your hosts, Kiera Dent
and Dr. Mark Costas.
Mark and I had this crazy idea that maybe we could combine a dentist and a team member's perspective because let's face it, dentistry can be a challenging profession with those two perspectives. And Dental 18 podcast was created.
I'm a practicing dentist, a multiple practice owner, a dental performance coach, and the founder of the Dental Success Institute.
I've been a dental assistant, treatment coordinator, scheduler, biller, office manager, current practice owner, and international dental consultant. Mark and I don't just understand you, we are you.
Our goal is to positively impact the world of dentistry by sharing our lessons learned from the road in hundreds of dental offices.
Two perspectives, one mission, to help dental professionals reach their full potential. Welcome to the Dental 18 podcast. Hello, Dental 18 listeners. This is Kiera, and I am beyond excited because yesterday when I was flying home, there was one of my clients that posted in a mastermind group and said, "Hey guys, I have some downtime today. Our schedule's light. What should we be doing?" And I was like, oh my gosh, this is such a fun topic and so exciting because I told them what I do is I have a list on my phone of all the things that I need to get done and also like podcast topics. So that way, when I've got a little bit of time like I do this morning, you can quickly bust it out, get it done. Well, for you guys in your teams, have a list of topics or things. So when you have that slow time in your practice or the times where you've got downtime, you actually just have a quick go-to. These are the things we need to work on as an office to really grow and to really be a better level of our team. Obviously, hello, the A-team. How can you A-team this up? So I want to give you some ideas that I gave this other office of like in a pinch when you have maybe 30 minutes, an hour, different things of what you can do. Because if you utilize those small little snippets of time, your team will grow. And it's also that quick downtime protocol. I think so often we just like work on the small minutia. But if you had like 1 or 2 hours, it's September, guys. It's Suck-tember. It's the slowest time of the year for most of the practices across the nation. If you're not one of these offices, high five. I'm so happy for you. If you're one of these offices where it's slow, let's bust out some of these ideas that you can do in a 30-minute, 1 hour, 2 hour increment in the practice. It's okay. Use this time for training. Use this time to do it. So here are some quick ideas that you guys can implement and execute. I think this would be an awesome Monday morning meeting. You guys can figure out what things we need to work on. Really dive into this. So role play. I know we hate it. I know it sounds dumb. Go listen to our podcast on role playing. And it's called, I think, You Think Role Playing's Dumb. Because honestly, it is dumb. It feels awkward. But role play the shenanigans out of it. We're talking role play a perfect new patient phone call. Do that 5-minute new patient phone call and role play that out. Do the ring. This is Kiera. I'm a new patient. How do we do this? Practice. Practice doesn't make perfect. Practice makes permanent. So I don't care how you're doing it. You can hear me talk on a podcast all day long, every single day of how to do these phone calls. But until you start practicing it, you are not going to do it. You're going to do it exactly the way that you think you're going to do it, not in the way that you should be doing it or you know you could be doing it because you're just practicing. You're constantly like reminding yourself every time you answer that phone. You probably don't know the different way to say it because that's not your normal phrase. So practice makes permanent. So how are you doing it? So that's the purpose of role play. And don't be afraid when you're role playing with your team to stop people so they don't continue down a path that's not a perfect path. We want perfect. That's why we're role playing, guys. We're not doing it to punish you. It's because we're trying to come up with new systems, new ways, new habits that are perfect. So just like when you go to the gym, I started a 6-pack challenge. Let's be real. I looked ridiculous trying to do these new crunches. Like you use this pulley bar and whatever. I'm trying to get a sweet 6-pack before the end of the year. And I look freaking ridiculous. I've been doing sit-ups my whole life, you guys, but I've been practicing them in a way that's permanent for me now. And now I've got to practice them in a better way and make that permanent. Not practicing my old way. I know how to do that. I've perfected that. I'm now having to practice a different way. I look ridiculous. I'm uncomfortable. I don't know off the top of my head how to do these. I have to watch YouTube videos. That's the exact idea with your role play in your practice. So role play it out. And ideas for role playing will be the 5-minute new patient phone call, cancellations. Be malicious with your team members on canceling so you guys really get that in. Out of network insurance verbiage. What do we say to these people? Brainstorm, figure out how you can do that, but role play it. Call. Like pretend you're calling so many times until it becomes permanent of what to say. It's just automatic. You say it every single time. Role play out perfect handoffs. Role play that out, guys. I see this all the time. Role play a new patient experience, what we do with them. Role play doctor exams. Guys, be honest with your docs. Tell them what they're saying. Have the doctor say it with you. Pretend. I know it sounds so silly, and we always say like, well, if it was a real patient, I'd do this differently. Pretend your team member's a real patient. Act as if you would. Practice flipping rooms, guys. Set those things up and practice getting them faster flipped around. You can set these up. You can have a relay race with each other. You can do timers. You can have it into a competition. Like figure out how to flip rooms faster so you guys can do that. Do a note-taking contest where doctors rattling this off, who can treatment plan the fastest and get faster and faster and faster. Look for the areas where your practice is weak so that way you guys can practice this up and make it stronger and better for you. You can also role play out big case presentation. How do we treatment plan? Sit there, treatment plan. Take 7 different treatment plans and practice with different people in the office. Take on different personalities. You guys, one of my favorite things is when we do the case presentation event, which is happening in November. So if you guys want to come, 100% get on Dental A Team's website. We've got the case acceptance. Email me. I would love to see you there. Phone Skills is coming up in September. Women Dentist Connect is coming up in October. And then case acceptance is in November. And case acceptance I love because what we'll do is we give people different personalities. So like you're a cop, you're an Uber driver, you're a hairdresser, you're a stay-at-home mom, you're a retired vet, whatever it is, all the different people in your practice. And you give those to different team members in your office and have them take on a different personality. So when you present these treatment plans and you're role playing it, role play out as if you're presenting treatment to these people, but have these people take on different personalities, different people. That way you can really, really practice this. You guys, I know it sounds silly, but honestly, if you will do this, you will crush it. Practice a perfect morning huddle. We've gotten into the routine of our morning huddles. How can you freaking spice that thing up and actually make it an empowering, productive one? Look for people that you're going to do same day treatment on. How can you make that better? Innovate it. Innovate all the things you're doing to make it better. The way we're doing it might not be the best way to do it. So as we're role playing this out, think, could we make this better? Complexity is the enemy of execution. So every single thing you're doing, it should be pretty simple. So those are some quick ideas to role play out. Have those on your phone so you're ready to go. So when you've got that downtime, you can quickly execute with your team. Some other times, if you've got some open time in your schedule, I said do a phone call challenge where you, of course, I love challenges. I think growing up with 7 siblings, everything in my life was a competition and a challenge. So I'm going to give you ideas, but I also think it makes it so much more fun. I think back in school, like I remember my geography class, geography, who takes geography? But in my geography class, I remember my teacher had it where like we had 2 teams in the class and we'd like rush up there to answer the question correctly. And I remember like that stuck with me for years, for tons of years, because it became fun and we actually like competed and it got all of our adrenaline up. We all had to go up. So it became a competition. It became fun and People engage a lot more. So what I was thinking is another idea you could do is you could have like take out the continuing care list and have it be during a sizzle time, the prime times. And if you've got downtime, whatever, do that too. But have people like give them their list, set the timer for 30 minutes and be like, we're going to see who can schedule the most patients in a 30-minute time block. Everybody like hit the phones, everybody takes their list, and we're going to figure it out. Maybe they're texting, maybe they're calling, maybe they're using certain verbiage. I don't know, but when you guys all are working in a collaborative spirit, you come up with better ways and better ideas of how to get patients to call us back, to schedule. And it'd be really fun. So that could be a 30-minute or an hour-long challenge, but all we do are hit the phones, and just see who comes up with the most, who can make the most calls, who can convert the most calls, and then come back together and figure out how to do it. Same thing with unscheduled treatment plans. Do that during these downtimes and have it kind of be this fun competition. Other things you can do with downtime, work on your operations manual. If it's done, bust that baby out, pass around protocols to people who aren't in that position, have them go try out the steps you've created. Can they do it? Start taking videos. Use TrainYall. I'm working with them and a couple others to get it online, but you guys can do that too. So take like 10 protocols that you could go and turn into videos. Upload those videos. Make them to where, how can we onboard somebody faster and more efficiently when they come into our practice? What do we need to do today? If you don't even have an operations manual, start with that. Get your job descriptions done. Get your accountability agreements done. Get your protocols done. Do you have protocols for everything? Make sure your handbook's actually up to date. Innovate that baby. Make it way better. Those are things like, think of how much you could actually do if you were productive with the time that you have when patients aren't there. This is like, yes, of course, we can sharpen instruments and we can stock our rooms, but those things have to get done anyway. Why use that valuable time where your schedule's dead to do those things that are not as productive that you'll totally get done anyway, but use that time for team training and really, really, really sink your teeth into this team training. I honestly believe that where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're focused on it and you're super intentional about it, your office will get better. I don't care if you've practiced handoffs 100 times, do it 101, 102, 103. It should be something where just like your daily drive to work is so automatic and you have figured out the most efficient, effective way to get to work, because every morning you are becoming innovative and you want to make it better. You want to make it faster. You want to have more time at home. So you're constantly innovating your daily drive. Do that with your handoffs. Do that with the way we answer the phone. Innovate, make it the most efficient, simplest way possible to where it's completely automatic. You guys have so much ability and power and different ways to do it. Hygienists, figure out how practice doing fluoride, practice doing SRPs, practice look up ways to do additional services in your practice. There are so many things that we can be doing in our practice day in and day out if we use this time to innovate, to think of different ways to make it better, and to remember, simplicity is where it's at, because complexity is the enemy of execution. All right, guys, that was okay, we just talked about this. I've set you up for a perfect morning meeting. Listen to this podcast, and then I want you guys to say okay, of all the things Kiera listed off, what would be the most beneficial thing in our practice that's going to drive us the furthest forward? What thing are we going to do? And then spend time either doing it or figuring out exactly how you want to do it. We're going to do role playing. We think that's going to be best. Awesome. List, have a brainstorming sesh where you list off all the different things that you could role play out. There's no judgment, just brainstorm it. So that way people get creative and they start thinking of different ideas, but put all those up there. Then look at all the role plays, see which ones you can combine together and see which ones will be the most impactful. Maybe put on a rotating schedule that we're going to role play these every single morning huddle for a month. We're going to do it for a month. Maybe you're going over your schedule. Figure out how to get that schedule so it's actually a great day every single day. If you guys want to come to phone skills and scheduling, I've solved scheduling forever and I'll talk about it on another podcast. But come up with ways when all the problems you have in your practice, how can you solve this forever? Use that time. List the topics of the problems. How can we solve this forever? Maybe it's marketing. Maybe it's morale of the practice. Maybe it's case acceptance. But get nitty gritty during this downtime and actually be productive with it. The doctor who reached out who said, I've got downtime. How can I GSD? That was absolutely brilliant. So nice work to that doctor. Utilize that time, guys. You can also, another thing, like Desiree Yazdan and I talked about social media. You can crank out your posts, use the whole team, and just have like an hour-long session where you guys make the post, you write what you're going to say, we take extra pictures, we go do a photo shoot during that time. So we have all of our posts ready to go for the entire month where they're actually intentional and they're proactive and not reactive. So many ideas for you guys, but now go figure out what the most impactful things will be for you. Have it in a place where you guys can quickly grab it at any time, whether it's on your phone, whether it's a list in the back office, wherever it is, and then execute. Because we can sit here and dream all day long, but we don't get places without dreaming. I read a quote this morning on my Instagram scroll that said, "Life doesn't have a remote control. Get up and change it yourself." And I feel that's how our practices are. Our practices don't have a remote control, a magic wand. We've got to get up there and change it ourselves. And the only way to do that is to listen to these ideas and then execute. So what's your day going to be like today? What's your downtime going to be? What's your Suck-tember going to look like for you guys? Figure that out and execute, guys. It doesn't even have to be perfect. Just start executing, moving in a direction. You guys, I freaking love you all. I love the Dental A team. Share this with your friends. Get more people here. You guys, we are hitting our best months ever with these downloads, and it's because you guys are sharing with your friends. You're telling other teams about this. You're getting them to listen. Send me topics you want me to talk about. I'm more than happy to help out. And as always, thank you for being a part of my Dental A team family. I really, really, really just think this is an incredible mission that we're on to change and impact the world of dentistry through teams, through a proactive approach of bringing doctors and teams together in one place. All right, guys, I'll catch you next time on the Dental A Team podcast. And that wraps it up for another episode of the Dental A Team podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next time.